All right, welcome everybody. For those of you that joined us last week, quick recap was just basically we talked about the law of curiosity, where you always have to be curious. Prince, you don't need to jump on right here. We always need to be curious to constantly grow. The moment you lose your curiosity, kind of the overlining theme was like you're just kind of waiting to die. Pretty much, really two types of people. There's people that feel like they have nothing else to give in their life and they're just waiting for retirement, waiting for life to be over, and they're just waiting for someone to make that official. And then there's people who actually make their life about actual living and improving and things like that. So that's what we kind of dug into last week. So if you missed that, you could go back into the portal and watch this. And this week, we're going to be talking about dun, 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 the law of expansion. So I guess, anyway, I was gonna pull up the PowerPoint right now, but I'll just talk before. I gotta find you guys again. There we go. All right, so the law of expansion. So pretty much what the law of expansion talks about is growth always increases your capacity. Okay, so that's gonna be the whole thing is like, where is your capacity? What do you feel like you could do at the most? And then how far can you go from there? So growth always increases your capacity. Nike says it best, there is no finish line, right? So it's kind of thinking in the past, when I first started my fitness journey, I'll say when I first got serious about my fitness journey, what happened was like my thinking at that time was, all right, I'm gonna learn a few things, I'm gonna get in really good shape, and then it's kind of over with, right? And that's where a lot of you might be right now. And that's okay. That's just kind of where everyone is when they first start. It's like, all right, I'm going to eat I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to lose the 40 pounds that I want. I'm going to feel good about myself, and then I'm done. But what happens when we do that? We always lose the results because we're just so focused. That's what our capacity is and where we think is the finish line, right? But what happened was, as I started growing, as I started continuing, as I was expanding the capacity of what I thought was possible, so many things started happening on the inside, right? And I realized like what we have to do to get the bodies we want is the same exact habits that you could get anything in life. So like, for example, some of the habits, what do you have to do to be in the best shape of your life? You need discipline, right? You have to do small things every single day when you don't want to do them. And what is that? It could be working out. It could be meal prepping. It could be just eating healthy. You have to make the smarter decisions when there's more fun decisions to do. So like it was little things like that that I learned through my fitness journey that expanded to every other area of my life. It could be like business, it could be relationships, it could be anything. There's always a give and take. And so as I like, never did I ever think of, all right, the moment I get into the gym, I'm gonna get ripped and then my whole life's gonna change. Like never did I think that. And it's the same thing for every area of your life and just really just more about your personal growth. That's kind of the main thing here is just your personal growth. And the more you grow, there's always more room to grow, right? The biggest mistake, or not mistake, the biggest kind of myth out there is the maintenance, right? Everybody thinks they want to get to a certain point in their fitness journey and then they just want to maintain it. But what happens when you go into that maintenance mode is you're going to start losing the results. So your body's either doing one or two things. It's either improving to get the next result, whatever that may be, or it's decreasing. So if you think about it, if you're like on a maintenance plan, the only difference you're doing is 1 week you're losing your results that you got, the other week you're getting those results back. You're losing results, you're getting results back. There's no such thing as just kind of maintaining, right? So try to think of that as you go into your journey. I know we have a lot of new people starting this week. So as you get into it, you may be thinking, all right, I joined Anatomy Fitness right now to get that motivation back, that little thing that I need. And my goal is to lose 30 pounds. Once I lose that 30 pounds, I'll take my foot off the brake and I'll just kind of maintain that. It's going to be easy, right? So just know once you lose that 30 pounds, you're gonna have to start thinking of your next goal. Because if you're happy, if you celebrate those 30 pounds, you're gonna start losing that. And the cool thing is, the experts believe that we as human beings truly only use 10% of our true potential. That means there's still 90% out there that we can tap into. And that's what we're going to kind of go over today on how we tap into that 90%. But I know everyone on this call is above average, right? Raise your hand if you're above average. Yeah, I see you. So we're probably at like 12%. We're not 10%, we have 12%. But still, we have like 88% more to go. So what I want you to do is look to that person to your left. Don't worry, it looks normal on my screen. Look to the screen to your left and say, great job, you're above average. I didn't see some of you do that. All right, so there's two ways how we tap into that extra 88% or that extra 90%. Number one is changing how we think. And then number two is changing what we do. All right, so that's what we're going to cover right now. I'm going to open up my slideshow. So again, two ways: change how we think and change what we do. And if you have questions as we go through this, put it in the chat. I'll read them after. It's probably just Daniela and Claudia talking back and forth, like usual. So funny. All right. Cool. All right, here we go. The law of expansion. As we talked about, growth always increases with your capacity. Find the edges and move out. Find the edges and move out. Find the Okay. All right, so how do we increase your thinking capacity? For work, and you have to start thinking what works, right? Capacity is not about doing more. It starts with doing better. Again, great example for this is working out, right? If for those of you who've been listening to me the last few weeks, I've been pushing this hard. Like, working out has nothing to do with weight loss, but the moment someone thinks they need to start losing weight, the moment that someone thinks they just need to start getting in better shape, the first thing they think about is, oh man, I got to start working out. Which, yeah, like working out is great. You need to. It has so many benefits to it. But a lot of people just think they have to work out more. And then they start getting on their journey. They lose a couple pounds. They hit a plateau. The first thought in their head, oh man, I've only been working out 30 minutes. I should probably work out an hour. That will get me better results, right? Oh, I've only been working out an hour. Now I should probably do 2 hours a day. Let me text my trainer. Are two a day is okay? Will that help me burn more fat, right? You have to stop thinking more work and start thinking what works. How did you lose those 20 pounds in the first place? It wasn't from the working out. It was from your nutrition. So start focusing more on your nutrition and having your coach hold you accountable to that nutrition plan. And that's going to get you to your results a lot faster, right? Again, you guys hear my story all the time, and you guys have your own stories that are very similar. I've worked out for over 5 years before I got my first result. 5 years, I looked the exact same. And I worked out every single day for 5 years. And then I started thinking, what works? Obviously, my working out's not working. What else works? And then so I turned to nutrition, and I got results in 3 months. Like, it was dumb. Like, I was so happy and so mad at the same time, right? So stop thinking more work, and you have to start thinking what works. The second way you change your thinking is stop thinking, can I? And start thinking, how can I? You guys heard me say this also a few times in the last few weeks. So when you say, can I, that's filled with questions and doubts. Like, you cannot increase your capacity of thinking if you're always thinking like, can I? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But when you just switch those two words around and say, how can I? Your mind just automatically will start expanding on its own. And you're going to find a solution through all the different resources you have to find that answer. All right. And then stop thinking one door, start thinking many doors. There are always options. So you never want to lose your vision of where you want to be and the goals that you want to achieve, but the vehicle to take you there can constantly change. And you just have to find what works the best for you. That's why all of our programs, especially more recently than ever, when you ask us questions, we don't give you a straight answer because there are so many different options you could do. Great example, like, especially when it comes to food, you guys probably hate my answers when you ask me, like, what's healthier, almond milk or regular milk? I don't know. Like, my answer is, what one do you like to drink more? That's all, that's the answer. Like, there's not one path to get you to your goal. Every single person listening to this, every single member of Anatomy Fitness has a completely different view, completely different way of eating, and they all work. You just have to find the best thing for you that you could stay consistent with. So instead of saying, eat this, 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 and this, and so you could get results fast, you're not gonna be able to keep those results because it is not your lifestyle. So we're teaching you how to get results with your lifestyle. That way you can keep the results forever. All right, so this is how you increase your thinking capacity. Stop thinking more work, start thinking what works. Stop thinking, can I? Instead think, how can I? Stop thinking one door and start thinking there are many doors. So that's the thinking. Now, how do we increase capacity for action? Number one is you have to stop doing what you have done. It is okay, you have to leave your comfort zone. If you feel comfortable exactly where you're at, like everything's aligned and perfect, you're doing it wrong. Like, you have to be scared. You have to constantly be semi-scared of like what's gonna happen because you're not comfortable with where you're at. You have to be okay with making mistakes. Making mistakes is a sign you are actually doing something. I think I have something to read on this one. Yes. So here's a paragraph that I got. It's from John Maxwell about stop doing what you have done. At first you do what you know, but the more that you do, okay, hold on. There's a lot of like words back and forth here. All right. At first you do what you know, but the more that you do what you know, you discover additional worthy things, innovative things that you know you should do. At this point is a pivotal decision. If you know what you should do, but continue to do what you have always done, then you're in a rut. So again, if you know what you should do, but continue to do what you have always done, then you're in a rut. So if you feel like you're at a plateau right now, that is why right there. You know what you should do, but you keep doing the same things over and over again because it's comfortable. But if you know what you should do, and then you do what you know you should do, that is when you start leading and growing. So you have to get out of your comfort zone, but always stay in your strength zone. And that is the key. Through all the different things that you try, you're gonna find your strengths. Never leave your strength zone. But you have to find where your weak spots are and then constantly change those until they turn into strengths. So stop doing what you have always done, leave your comfort zone, and then stop doing just enough. Do more than is expected, right? As you guys know, like Little League, all that stuff, they always get beat up on it, but we always get trophies for just showing up nowadays. And that doesn't teach us like to go above and beyond to actually earn that trophy. Like, all right, here's 20 bucks for a season, I'll get a trophy at the end, woo, right? So you have to always do what's more than expected. A great thing about this, again, more than recently, is the macros. Like, there's so many people, we give them their macros and they do just enough to hopefully like get a C average on their macros, just so they could like prove something to their coach or whatever, instead of actually like putting the extra 15, 20 minutes into it and hitting it exactly, right? And then they come up with some excuse on why they couldn't do it, on how hard it is and all that stuff. Is it hard? Yeah, it's because you're going out of your comfort zone. But I promise you, the more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you expand the capacity that you can actually do it. Instead of saying, can I eat 100 grams of protein? You ask yourself, how can I eat 100 grams of protein? And you hit it every single day, you're going to blow away your results. But instead, they're like, I'm 10 grams away from protein. That's pretty good. I'll focus on carbs and fat another day. right? So you have to stop doing just enough. And then do the important things all the time. And for you, that's different for everyone. Like, what is important to you? Like for me, the most important things is like every single day when I wake up, I'll take 15 to 30 minutes and just read some kind of book, something to expand my mind. It just kind of puts my mind in the right space, whatever it may be. So I know that is extremely important because I know when I don't do that, like my whole day is off. Same thing like drinking a shake in the morning. I don't know what it is, but if I don't have my shake every morning, like something just feels off. If I don't have my herbal aloe, like my stomach feels weird. A lot of it's probably in my mind, but it's that I know those two things are really important to start my day off right, or else like it just feels off. So what's important to you? Is it working out, eating healthy, hugging your family? Like, find out what the important things are in your life and then just do it every single day. Maximum capacity, it's unlimited or more. So expand your capacity. Capacity is not a measure of how much you can hold. Capacity is a measure of how much you can give, right? This is huge. This was a big one for me to kind of take on is, and still today, like, I see something it's like, oh yeah, I'll help you out, I'll help you out, I'll help you out. And then sometimes it just gets too much and then I have nothing else to give. If you want to better your life, if you want to have a new, increase like a better habit in your life, that means you have to get rid of another habit. You can't just keep adding more and more habits to your life. So that's when you have to look throughout your day, look throughout your life, look throughout where you want to go to, and figure out what habits am I doing constantly that serve no purpose to my greater vision. And once you figure those out, you have to get rid of those and then figure out what habits do I need to get that go towards my future vision. And then you could start replacing the old habits with the good habits. But you cannot keep the old habits and add good habits. It just does not work that way. So what do you have to get rid of? How much can you hold? And focus on more about how much can you give. And the great news is, the best part about this entire thing, there's nothing in your past that must determine your future. Your past means absolutely nothing from what you choose to do at this moment moving forward. And that is the coolest thing that like could give you all the hope that you need. Your past does not determine your future, and you need to know that. You could burn the past. That's what I had to do at age 26. I had to do it a few times actually, where like from age 20 to 25, I was not the greatest person. You're lucky you did not know me during those times. But the moment I decided to change, I didn't bring that with me. I said, cut off, that is the old me, this is the new self, and this is who I have to become. And you could do the same exact thing for, again, every area of your life. Your capacity must continue to grow. So think about it. What is your impact now? Like, what is your impact? For yourself, for your family, for your little community, for your big community, whatever it is. What impact are you making right now? And then also ask yourself, what would you like your impact to be? So you know where it's at right now, but what would you like it to be? Because that is your capacity. That right there is the capacity in your mind. So think about, what are your current results now? Health-wise, we'll talk about health-wise. What are your current results now? What results do you want to have? Losing 20 pounds, losing 30 pounds, running a marathon, being an Ironman, winning a fitness show. Whatever that vision is, that is your capacity. Now, what I'm going to tell you to do is double it, because you're better than that. If you're 280 pounds and your goal is only to get to 200 pounds, I promise you, you could get to 120 to 150 pounds, right? Like, what is your capacity? So action steps for the week. Define your ultimate goals, health and fitness goals, your spiritual goals, family goals, your career goals, your personal growth goals. And then double it, because it's possible. Whatever you think you can do, you could do twice as much, 3 times as much, 10 times as much. I promise you, because you could, as long as you live, there's always room to grow in every area. All right. So take a screenshot of that. I expect everyone to do that homework. Take and where does it? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5. Take 1 day per category. And then post it in the Facebook group so we could cheer you on. At least tell your coach if you don't post it in the Facebook group. There's some new people on here. What's up, guys? And so that is today about the law of capacity, always constantly growing, always being your best. I see some chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free. Oh, happy birthday, Jill. It's your mom's birthday? All right, we're all gonna unmute ourselves and sing happy birthday to Jill. All right, everyone unmute yourselves. Her name is Jill, you can call her Jillian. Derek's mama.
Or Quadzilla.
Jillzilla. All right. Here we go on the count of 3. Get in this, J-Dog. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Because now.
Happy birthday, Jill.
Speech.
Speech, mom, speech.
Thank you for my quads. Kidding. I love coming in on Saturdays. I love hearing music. It helps my day.
Good. I'm glad. One person smile. All right, guys. Well done, everybody. Same time next week. These are expanding their mind. Go tell your friends how to expand their minds. Put your hands in. Let's get a break. I see you, Bianca. All right, here we go. Oh, what are we saying? Mindset, AF, on 3. You get in this. 1, 2, 3.
Mindset, AF.
Right.
Thanks, Luke.
Good job, everyone. Have a wonderful Saturday.